guys, it's Janice from Ozark Family Homestead, and tonight Sarah and I are going to cook supper with you guys. So in past videos I have shown our family's beef stroganoff. It's a family favorite. David frequently asks for it for his birthday supper. He's sitting right over there looking at me right now. What? The number one? He's telling me something and he's holding up his finger like that. So, but here's the deal with our beef stroganoff. A lot of the recipes that I have found call for chunks of meat, like stew meat, and you marinate it, and it's a lengthy process, and I don't have time for lengthy processed food. So the version of beef stroganoff that I make will feed a large family. There are 9 of us here for those of you that are new, and I just use ground beef. So I'm going to take you along with us this evening as we make it, and you can see what we do, and I do plan to put the recipe down in the description box as well. So come along with us, and here we go. Okay, starting pretty simple here. I've got 2 pounds of ground beef in here. This is beef that we get from a local farm. And to that, I am going to add, this is 1 cup, or 1 onion diced up, and some garlic. And this is stuff, we grew this on our property this year. I am going to cook all of this up for a bit, and then later I'm going to add the mushrooms in there. But eventually I'm going to have all of this together in the skillet, cooked through, the meat cooked through, and the veggies softened up. And then we will move on to the next step. All right, Sarah's been working on the ground beef, onion, garlic mixture over here for me, and I'm going to show you guys real quick kind of what it looks like at this point. It's browning. It's not done yet, but it is browning. And I am going to have her go ahead and put the mushrooms in, and that way we're going to continue to cook this until the mushrooms are softened up. And I'm going to let you guys in on something here too. We like a lot of mushrooms in our stroganoff, so we actually choose to put more in than what the recipe calls for. So again, you can change this up as to what your family likes. We are going heavy on the mushrooms, plus it helps to stretch it a bit as well. So Sarah's going to put those in, and I'm going to come around here, and I'm starting to lay out some of the ingredients that we are going to be adding. So as that is cooking up, that's what I've been doing, is getting things measured out so we can make it go a little bit faster whenever it does come time to go to the next step. So, okay, you got them to fit?
Kind of.
They will cook down some too. We could have gotten the monster skillet out.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have done that. We'll see. We may come back with the monster skillet. Okay, we'll be back. All right, guys, we are ready for the next step. Remember how full that skillet was when Sarah put all those mushrooms in there? Well, they have cooked down. Sarah's got the hiccups, you guys. She's my camera woman, and she said, I wonder if they'll hear my hiccups. I said, yeah, if we're filming, they're gonna hear it. So those are Sarah's. Stop shaking the camera, Sarah. Stop laughing.
Okay.
Okay, breathe.
Okay, I'm gonna hiccup.
This is finished cooking. The meat's all brown. The veggies are all soft. You see the mushrooms, they did cook down really, really well. So we did not have to upgrade our skillet there. At this point, I'm going to take everything in this skillet. I'm going to transfer it to a pan and set it aside. And we're going to start making the roux, the thickened saucy mixture here in this same skillet. So that will be the next step. In the meantime, we have some broccoli going. We're steaming that to go with supper, and our water's at a boil. For our family, I will typically cook up
Take the camera each time.
For our family, I will typically cook up 9-ish cups of these egg noodles. Sarah, show them these here. I get these from Aldi. And the 16-ounce baggie here is roughly 8 cups. So I'm going to use up 1 whole baggie and then part a little bit of a second one for our family. So I'm going to get going on that next step, and we'll bring you back I think whenever we're making the roux. I'll bring you back for that part. All right, next step, I've taken all this meat, onion, mushroom mixture, and it is over here, just set aside. To this skillet, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of butter and let it melt. And we have also gotten the noodles put here, and we'll get those cooked up while we wait. So this is gonna melt pretty quickly because my cast iron skillet is pretty hot. I do want to point out that if you were using a fattier percent of beef, that you might need to put like maybe a paper towel or something in the bottom to soak up that grease. This was a very lean grass-fed beef, so I really did not have much fat come out of this, but you may need to use that paper towel if it's fattier. Okay, this is gonna melt up, and then we're gonna add the flour to it. This is just 1/4 cup of flour, and it's gonna start to make up a paste. And this is what is gonna be the thickener for our stroganoff sauce. I'm just gonna stir this all up. It is so simple. And I used to buy all the cans, the cream of chicken, the cream of mushroom, the cream of celery. I used to keep those on my shelf all the time, but it's really, really easy to make those things too. I can see having them around for convenience, but I think it's also beneficial to have the knowledge of how to do it in case you don't have those cans sitting there on the shelf just ready to go. So just let that cook up a little bit and thicken real good. Let's see, this is homemade broth here. What is it, 1 1/3 cups, I think is what it was. Yeah, 1 1/3 cups. And this is some of the bone broth. I've just made this fresh. It was just finished today, so it has not gelled up. Oh yeah, don't let the noodles boil over, Sarah. Turn it down a little bit. Okay, we have a deal with our burners, our 2 big burners. Oftentimes they will go crazy hot just all of a sudden, so we really have to babysit our burners. Okay, at this point I'm going to add the broth to this. And actually I'm going to switch over to my whisk. And we're just going to get everything incorporated in there real well. Okay, at this point, I'm going to keep whisking, and I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and I'll bring you guys back on here whenever we've got this up to temperature and it is boiling, and then we're going to add all the stuff that makes it really yummy. All right, if you can see this little roux here, it is starting to bubble. So I'm going to turn the heat down and just let it kind of simmer, give it a good stir. I do not want it to scorch. And I'm going to start adding the yummy things. So I've got some red wine vinegar here. I'm going to put 1/2 cup in there. And the Dijon mustard, there's just a teaspoon there. And you could even just give it a good squirt right into the skillet and have less mess. The Worcestershire. Yes. I think it's right. Yes. Right? Sarah approves of my pronunciation.
One of the top 3 most hardest things to say.
Most hardest things to say. Hardest things to say. A tablespoon of that is going to go in here too. And I like a little extra. Woo! It spilled over. Oopsie.
No one's going to complain.
No one's going to complain. Okay, so we've got all that in there. Oh, that's for the noodles. Okay. They'll sit for just a minute. Give that a good stir. Okay, now I am going to add a little bit of spicy. These little chili pepper things here. Okay, you all need to know that we are not spicy people. The recipe that I had called for up to 2 teaspoons. We cannot handle that amount of spicy. So what I do a pinch. And that's all I do. If you guys can handle spice, then you spice it up. But my family would be breathing fire. Okay, we're gonna let this go a little bit here. Okay. We are just gonna let this heat up again and start simmering. Just a gentle little simmer there. And then I'm gonna add the meat back in. So we will wait on that and be back in just a couple minutes. All right, I've got just little bits of bubbles on here. It's just simmering very slightly there. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of a stir. And it's nice and thickened up there. So at this point, I'm gonna add all this meat veggie mixture back into the skillet. And once it's all incorporated together, I want to do a little taste test to see if I need to add any salt and pepper. And I'll add, you guys will add whatever it is you need to add to that there. So we're going to do this. The noodles are done. The broccoli is steamed. So we're just waiting on the last few steps on this. I'm scraping it because we don't waste food in this house. I don't know about you guys, but I've seen those cooking shows and they take stuff from a measuring cup or whatever and they put it in the pot and they leave like 2 tablespoons of stuff sticking. Okay guys, sorry, the battery died right as I was talking there before, but what I ended up doing is I mixed all the meat mixture in with the sauce. I did a little taste test and added some salt and pepper. So that's where this stands right now. It's still on a low heat, just kind of all melding together at this point. What I need to do now is add the sour cream and some cream cheese to this and just let it all melt and just all meld together. We've got noodles done, broccoli done, so all we're waiting on is this right here, and then we'll be ready to eat. So I'm just going to plop this in and I will scrape this and I'm going to put this in and I will scrape this as well, but I'm not going to waste your time on the camera. They're doing it, and I'm just going to give this all a stir together. And then it really starts looking like stroganoff when you get that creamy in there. Okay, so this is just all kind of going to melt together. It's going to warm up. It's going to incorporate together. And by the time we put this on top of the noodles, it is going to be bona fide stroganoff that did not take hours and hours to make, because we did not marinate hunks of meat. Instead, we made it quicker by using the ground beef. So I think that's pretty good. All right, when we come back, I will have these all scraped clean, neat and tidy, and this will be all warmed up and mixed together, and it'll be ready to put on a plate. All right, everything's ready. Sarah worked on filling up plates for us. This is what everything looks like plated up here. So it's good stuff. Promise you guys, it's good stuff. If you get around to making this, you're going to love it. I promise you. All of us have plates except Anna. She's been sickly, so she's sleeping on the couch right now. But 8 plates have been made up, and we do still have some here for people to come back for seconds. So it really does make a generous amount with just the 2 pounds of beef, especially if you add in extra mushrooms or onions to stretch it just a little bit more. So we are going to head over to the table now and get ready for supper. All right, guys, we're going to sit down to eat. Shawn got a phone call right at supper time, so he will be here with us shortly, but we're hungry, so we are going to go ahead and eat. He told us to go on. So if you guys liked today's video, I hope you liked it. Give us a thumbs up, please, please. And make sure you are subscribed to our family's channel. And then if you could tell your family and friends to watch Ozark Family Homestead, What would it do?
It would help our family's channel grow.
It would help our family's channel grow, guys. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching Ozark Family